These lids are probably some of the prettiest that I've done yet, and I'm very new at painting the jar lids. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take them all apart and start over. The issue that I have is not with the paints. When I mixed my resin, I made a big boo-boo, a big boo-boo, a big boo-boo. I've been using resin for a long time, and what I did not mix my resin correctly. So when I went to resin these jar lids, they're sticky. I didn't mix it right. There's nothing I can do but strip them and start them over. But I'm going to show you the video anyway because I really, really love these paints. I really love making these jar lids. This is absolutely my favorite one. I'm going to show you the video anyway because you know what? Art is not about always being perfect. It's not always going to work out the first time. It's not always going to work out.
This is my second video using the fluid metallic acrylic paints that Meeden Art Company sent to me, and I'm going to use them to paint these jar lids that I got from the Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree is absolutely the best place to get these jars. They have some of the cutest patterns. They're really cute for $1.25. The second thing I did was to clean the tops of the lids with isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel. The first thing I did before I cleaned them was to I just used painter's tape on the underside, so I taped them off on the underside just to protect them from any paint drips. Okay, this set of paints comes with 6 colors, and the box itself is around $17, so that makes each 2-ounce bottle. So these are 2-ounce bottles. Each 2-ounce bottle is about $2.83 roughly. So of the 6 colors, I'm only going to use 4. There is a metallic black and then a metallic silver white, I think it's silver white. I'm only going to use the metallic blue, which is a really rich royal blue color. Not royal blue. Is it navy blue or royal blue? I don't know. It's blue. I'm going to use the metallic silver and then the metallic gold, which is really, really rich. And then I'm really excited about this metallic wine red because, you know, I'm all about the wine. In addition to these 4 colors, there's also a metallic black and metallic white that I'm excited to use together in another project. I have about a 1/2 ounce of paint in each cup, and now I'm going to add about a 1/2 ounce of a paint additive called Floetrol, and you can buy this at Lowe's, Home Depot, really any big box store, and I've also seen it on Amazon, although it's a little bit more expensive. The Floetrol does thin the paint a little bit, but I'm adding a little bit of water also just to give it the right consistency. In hindsight, I wish I had not added the water. I wanted my paints a little bit thicker. For the first lid, I am just layering paints in no particular order in a small plastic medicine cup. This technique is called a basic flip cup, which is exactly what it sounds like. You flip the cup onto whatever surface that you're painting. I'm not sure if it was really necessary to add the white base paint around my flip cup itself, but as I understood, it would help the paint kind of flow a little bit. And you can see I had way too much paint in my cup. But that white base paint, I think, is what is giving me these amazing little cells. And I really wish I had spent more time leveling my surface because the paint flowed too much and I lost the majority of these awesome cells. The finished product did not dry like this. For the second lid, I'm again layering paints in no particular order, but I'm using a slightly larger plastic cup. And I'm trying to do a ring pour. My hand is a little bit unsteady and my paints are just way too thin for a really good ring pour. But focus less on the technique and more on the outcome. How gorgeous is this? Using the same cup, I'm doing a straight pour, a technique called a straight pour on this third lid, and it's just like it sounds. It's a straight pour out of your cup onto your surface. Would you believe I still have some paint left over in that cup? So I'm just gonna do another flip onto this lid and be done. Did have to hit the edges just to make sure everything was covered and I didn't have any blank spots, and I just used leftover paint for that. Now just using my stick, leftover paint, and covering up all those little bare spots. 24 hours later, these are nice and dry. ready for resin, and I'm already thinking about how I can improve for next time. I did not paint the caps. So these caps, remember, are two of them were silver, two of them were kind of a copper color, which worked out really well for the color combination that I used. But I think it would have worked out better if I had spray painted the caps either a blue or white, just to give the paint a little bit more tooth, because I ended up losing a good bit of the paint that dripped off, and some of that was my fault for not mixing my paint thick enough. If I had mixed the paint a little bit thicker, I maybe could have saved the patterns and not have so much runoff. And here's the part where it all went sideways. Although rewatching this 3-4 times, I still can't figure out what I did wrong. I think I just mismeasured my resin. And that's a big no-no when you're working with resin. That will turn you sideways in a skinny minute. Don't do it. Measure correctly.
So I'm just going to put some on each one. And then massage it in. Really get your edges. Get your edges really well. And applying a skim coat is great because then you don't have to worry about giant giant drips on your edges. So just the skim coat, just enough to bring out the shine again. So always get your edges really well. Okay. This lid is a little bit bigger, so I had a little bit more resin on that one. I think definitely next time I definitely need to paint these lids with some spray paint, like I don't know, maybe white or blue, something that is going to complement the paint that the acrylic paint that I'm going to put on top, uh, just like a base color, and that will help to give the acrylic pour on top a little bit more of a tooth. It'll help it grip a little bit better. All right, so now I'm going to go in. My mermaids are a little bit bigger, so the mermaids are going to go on the bigger lids. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to drizzle on a little bit extra on the lid and kind of smush it down. Almost like she's swimming underwater. And you could put it on the back side too, it doesn't matter. Give it a good smush. And then the seahorses obviously are go on these. And you know what else would look good on here since I have these little sea creatures? This mermaid trash. But I am not going to add mermaid trash. I mean, it is possible to add too much. So I just want I want the sea turtles and the mermaids to be the center of attention on these lids. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to get you down a little bit closer so you can see all the beautiful stuff going on. And I think I'm going to take my leftover resin and now really pay attention to the edges of the mermaid I don't really need to go on top, but just the edges, just to make sure I have plenty of resin around the edges. Okay. Because if there's going to be a weak point, it's going to be that edge. It's going to make it look better. And then a horse here. You know what? I probably can go ahead and drizzle it on the top. That might work. That way it's a little shinier because they're not very shiny. These molds are just not very shiny. On these. Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. That's going to be beautiful. And I could have done that before I put the mermaid on there, but it's all right. All right, so now what I'm going to do is kind of let these firm up a little bit. And then I can come back and take my tape off. I'm just going to use up all the rest of the resin. But I'm going to pull my tape off before things get too firm, before the resin is completely finished curing. Otherwise, I'll probably never get the tape off. I don't know. I think these may work. I'm going to go ahead and leave these, but I am going to get all the resin off. Get the resin out of the cup. Okay. You see now why I'm so upset? I made a mistake. I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. I'm just going to go and pour me a glass of wine and try again.